It is our position spotlight. It is brought to you by Pilot Flying J, and it all starts. You saw that hype. Man, a lot of talent in this room, a huge investment. It was stressed by General Manager Andrew Berry to get this room where it needed to be. The Browns saw their defensive line last year decimated by injury, suspension, but it all starts with the number 95, Myles Garrett, 23 and a half sacks in his last 26 games, and he has the aspirations to be the Defensive Player of the Year this year, Josh.
Yes, and if we didn't have unfortunate circumstances last season, I think he would have won Defensive MVP with what he was doing and where he was on track to get, already amounting, I believe, 10 sacks in 19, not even playing the whole year with a host of tackles. So the offensive lines fear him. He will be the beneficiary of a lot of double teams and a lot of chip blocks by running backs all throughout this league. So when you have a guy that commands that much attention by opposing offenses, I mean, other guys should love that. Guys like Chad Thomas, Ogunjobi, when he's healthy, he'll get back out there. And Nathan, I wanted to talk to you about these guys with 3 and 4 years experience. Chad Thomas, Ogunjobi, guys like Aquale, Myles Garrett. This is the prime of their career right now, where they should be breaking out into their own. We already know Myles Garrett is right there. Ogunjobi, if you look at the sacks that these guys have put up, Chad Thomas 4 sacks, Ogunjobi 5. They're benefiting off of the great play that Myles Garrett has been able to, put up throughout these years.
And speaking of Myles Garrett, you are looking live at what will be Myles Garrett first team period snap of this training camp. That's happening right here on Browns Live. And you're right. You've got Myles on one side. You've got the veteran Olivier Vernon on the other. A very good pass rusher, former Pro Bowler, 6.5 sacks in 6 of the last 7 seasons. It's all about keeping him on the field. You see Baker Mayfield under center, little play action to Nick Chubb, and throws one down the right sideline, and it is caught. A very nice catch by your guy, Hollywood Higgins, there, which is good. We've seen Hollywood that first week was a little slow for him. Great to see him getting started right away there with Baker to Higgins. A nice connection off that play action.
I want to see him dance. I want to see Higgins get more excited. Hey, you got the first catch of practice. Get excited. Let everybody know you are here, ready to stay. And, that's what I want to see with a lot of the players. I want to see them excited to play football. It's Cleveland. You get a big catch from your quarterback. Let everybody know you're there.
Yeah, get excited about it. We wanted to see this team come out and start fast today, and certainly the offense did just that on their very first play from scrimmage as we get a pitch right, and there's a sight that we love to see, isn't it? Nick Chubb taking the carry for the Cleveland Browns there on that toss to the left. Chubb, of course, the second leading rusher in the NFL. And he was running at Olivier Vernon there, and Vernon, a guy, as we mentioned, very productive. Availability, that's the issue. Restructured his contract. He's missed 15 games the last 3 years. If you can get him out there with Myles and you bring in Adrian Claiborne, who's averaging 5 sacks a season over the last 4 years, you've got now, and you mentioned Chad Thomas coming off of a career-high 4 sacks. This line is good, and this is the first time we've seen Vernon and Myles on the field together. Myles over there going against Jedrick Wills. Vernon going against Jack Conklin as we get another run to the left side, and it gets bottled up. Kareem Hunt there as he moved left, as we saw Jordan Elliott, who's getting work with the starters, while Larry Ogunjobi is out. And we move to the middle of this defense. Sheldon Richardson, we're going to see it later in the Football 101. Sheldon Richardson brings so much to this team, and I think at this point he's underrated with how good and consistent he is.
Right, and I think general management is doing a great job at stacking this defensive line. And if you think about the defensive line, think about the secondary. Think about what's going on and who they're covering for. They're covering for the linebackers. They're going to get that linebacker room together. But if you have these monsters up front that's competing at a high level, they're taking pressure off the linebacker core.
A play-action boot to the left side. Baker nowhere to go. Good job by the defense, and makes a modest gain out there. This line, too, we should also mention, in that defensive end room, one guy who probably is really caught our eye, and perhaps it was somewhat unexpected, is Porter Gustin.
Okay.
Gustin's been getting an opportunity to work with the first team while Myles has been out. Obviously, with Myles back, he goes back to the second team, but that was a spot early in camp. Chad Thomas was working, and Gustin seemed to have maybe kind of leapfrogged him there, and has had a good start to camp. Former 5-star recruit who got some playing time last year and is competing to really open the eyes of the coaches and perhaps make this team, as you see him in there, as the Browns have switched now to the twos on both offense and defense. Case Keenum under center for the Browns. And I mentioned earlier, David Njoku not participating in practice today. His little hand run. Oh, man, Nick Chubb. All he needs is just a little bit of daylight, and he can make a big play. But this is going to be a big day for Pharaoh Brown, who I think has had a nice start to camp, as well as Harrison Bryant, the rookie, because with the Chief out and a lot of two tight end sets, there's going to be opportunities for those guys to work a lot with that first team.
Yes, and injury breeds competition. You know, guys got to step up and play, and that's how they can get known. If somebody's either taking a day off because of rest or because of injury, another guy can catch the coach's eye by being consistent and making the plays when the ball comes to him.
You're right about that as we see the second team defensive line as we continue to spotlight that group. Two guys in the middle, Eli Anku and Daniel Akwale, as Keenum drops back and lofts one that is intercepted by the Browns defense. That looked like, of course, who else would it be? Money Mitch. The guy, is he a ball magnet or what? The ball continues to find him.
Mitch.
That's a play of the day nominee right there. Money Mitch having an excellent camp for the Browns. And again, we wonder, are they going to find a way to get Money Mitch on the field with Denzel and Greedy in some of these nickel sets, or will it be MJ Stewart who has been filling in at that nickel spot for Kevin Johnson, or Cover Johnson as we like to say. But Money Mitch off to a tremendous start in Berea.
Yes, definitely, man. That's what you want to see from a guy like him, and he's continually making this cornerback room a threat. This is definitely a position group that's a threat. When you rattle off the names that they have, and then they keep being consistent, the knockdowns, the making the interception, last practice, the pick six by Denzel, the knockdowns. This position group, again, like I said, when you have those monsters up front that's plugging the holes, and then in the secondary you can't really throw nothing on them, it's going to make for a very good defense, and they're creating an identity for themselves.